Rob Butler.
Madam Deputy Speaker, I rise only briefly to state my strong support for this bill, and I should declare that prior to my election I was the Magistrate Member of the Sentencing Council and a Non-Executive Director of Her Majesty's Prison and Probation Service, and accordingly I was honoured to be a member of the Public Bill Committee for this legislation. As we've heard several times during the debates on this bill, the overarching responsibility of any government is to keep its citizens safe, and one of the 5 set-out purposes of sentencing is to protect the public, and that is rightly the priority of this bill. Terrorist attacks cause carnage, murdering indiscriminately, injuring wantonly. This bill sends a very powerful message to those who seek to bring terror to the lives of innocent people. It demonstrates the contempt in which we hold those who seek to kill and maim to further their warped ideologies. A minimum sentence of 14 years to be spent entirely in custody is a clear signal that if you commit a serious offence linked to terrorism, you can expect to spend a very hefty proportion of your life locked up, and rightly so. But, Madam Deputy Speaker, I too am a firm believer in rehabilitation, and the Prison Service has worked incredibly hard to devise and implement de-radicalisation programmes. But I think most people would acknowledge that there is considerable scope for further improvement. Several times during the Bill Committee's evidence sessions, we were told that the reoffending rate of terrorists is low, perhaps just 3%, somehow implying that we therefore do not need such lengthy sentences as proposed in this bill. But this surely misses the point. Even one terrorist reoffending is one too many, because even one terrorist attack can kill hundreds of people. In cases of terrorism, we cannot take risks. This bill also sends a strong message to the public that this government is absolutely committed to protecting lives and minimising the chance of terrorist attacks taking place. The changes to TPIMS reflect the needs of the security service to have every tool to keep us safe. Assistant Chief Constable Tim Jakes, Deputy Senior National Coordinator in the UK's Counter-terrorism Policing, giving evidence to the Public Committee, stated, "Protecting the public is our #1 priority, and sometimes that means we have to intervene regardless of evidence because the risks to the public are so great." Madam Deputy Speaker, our priority must be to support our security service and police in the heroic work they do day in, day out, often at considerable danger to themselves, in their constant quest to thwart would-be terrorists from wreaking their havoc. We owe it to them to give them what they need to keep us safe. And finally, Madam Deputy Speaker, it is vitally important that the courts take immediate note if and when this bill is passed. I hope that sentencing guidelines can be quickly introduced to reflect the clear will of all sides of Parliament to ensure that dangerous terrorist offenders spend more time in prison. I will give way.
I'm very grateful. On that point, you'll be assured to know the Sentencing Council is putting work in train in any event to revise the terrorism guidelines, and of course this bill, should it become law, will no doubt form part of their work.
I am grateful to the Lord Chancellor for reassuring me of that, and I know from having served on the Sentencing Council that those members will very diligently proceed with their efforts, and that will surely reflect, as I was saying, the clear will of Parliament to ensure that dangerous terrorist offenders spend more time in prison, to give greater opportunity for rehabilitation, to reflect the seriousness of their crime, and most importantly, to protect the British people.